Hi, and welcome to the next 90%. I'm Erin.
I'm Justin.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Caitlin. Today's guest is a fellow redhead, a fellow warrior woman, and also fellow champion of the DDPY Positively Unstoppable Challenge. We are so excited to have her here to hear her story. And thank you all for, being here. But thank you to Stephanie Kelly. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Hey, everybody. It is
Hey.
so good to be here and see you all. I had to rep my red lips for Miss Caitlin K tonight. So I can't wait to talk to you guys. This is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, awesome. We're so excited. I know we're fresh off this win, so I know things are happening. We wanted to get you on and talk about things, we wanted to hear kind of overview, like what's your story? Where'd you get started? Highs, lows, and all in between, right? Like how did you get to this point? What got you started in this journey?
Sure. So I actually got DDPY as a Christmas gift from my husband. I had seen the Arthur video on Facebook maybe about a year or so before then. And I was totally inspired, but did absolutely nothing about it. And then I saw it again and it popped up again. And then I saw different wrestlers were doing it. So I kept mentioning it to him. So I think he kind of got the hint that I was interested and totally surprised me with it for Christmas, which was actually, it was such a nice gift because at that point I wasn't willing to invest in myself. And he was willing to invest in me at, a really crucial time. So I got it as a gift for Christmas and totally panicked and was afraid to start. And I think that happens with a lot of people. For me, the biggest hurdle was the fear of failing. So I kept putting it off. And then one day I was like, all right, will you please do the first workout with me, get on the mat, and just, help me through the first workout. So, of course, he was able to do it with me. And my official start date was January 21st, 2020. And oh man, that first workout was hard. It kicked my butt. Um, I mean, talk about checking your ego. So, but it's just one of those things you keep going little by little. You see those little improvements, your confidence.
Was it one of those deals where, like, when you watch through that video, that first workout? I'm sorry to interrupt you because you hit that point where, like, you see him go from like table to down dog, and you're like, man, I can do that. And you try it, and you're like, wait a minute, I can't do that. And you're
I
like, oh no.
Yes,
So yeah, no, that's that feeling I think we've all had at the beginning.
yeah, totally. And even at the end where he like does the figure four crunches, I'm like, this dude wants me to do core work after he
Yeah,
just kicked my butt. He's
yep.
crazy. So I just like stayed there. I didn't move. So it's hard in the beginning, and but you dig deep, and you kind of keep moving forward. For me, the thing that kept me going in the beginning was the DDPY community. Our fellow warrior woman, Tina Gaspard, started about a month before I did. And she put herself out there in such a way that was so genuine and vulnerable. And I instantly connected with her and politely stalked her, just looking for updates and encouragement. Yes, very politely, not creepily at all, every single day. But just looking for that source of encouragement. And it was great because she was experiencing things that I was about to, and she was getting through them. So I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. Okay, she just got through this hurdle where it's really tough mentally. But she was able to get through it. And on the other side, there was something good. So I tell people all the time, like, just get around the corner. You're so close, just get around the corner and it'll get better. So the first 6 months, I really just followed the workouts as they were laid out in the program. And at that 6 month mark, I put a post out on the DDPY group about just my progress so far. I had lost about 35 pounds, but my flexibility and stamina and confidence really had soared at that point. And I very fortunately got a phone call from DDP, and from there on out, I mean, everything changed. I wasn't following any sort of nutrition plan. So, he suggested going gluten free and dairy free and, organic. So that's what I decided to try, and it really worked for me. And after that, it was just crazy. I lost 95 pounds by the end of the year. And that is where I entered the Positively Unstoppable Challenge for 2021. So, just like a little message of encouragement for people that maybe have been on this journey for a while. I lost 95 pounds before I ever entered the challenge. During my challenge period, I lost 25 pounds, but I still became one of the champions because I put in so much work everywhere else. um, you know, physically, mentally. I really worked hard towards helping others. Like that was like one of my big goals. So it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. Don't be afraid to go for it. Um, so yeah,
You,
so the Positively Unstoppable challenge for me was taking my fitness, taking my game to the next level.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, it was
yeah.
a great way to focus, and I know Aaron and Matt, you guys are back in it again, so I know you know what it's like to try to reinvent yourself after a big weight loss,
Yeah.
and, I'm sure you each have your own, like, visions this year for what the challenge is gonna be for you. So
Yeah, for sure. But my first real interaction seeing you in the Positively Unstoppable group is your 100-pound loss. With the balloons and that was my. I'm like, wow, look at her go! Look at what she's done, and that actually really encouraged me to go through. Like DDP says that you can shoot for the stars and miss, or you can shoot for the curb and hit it. And you really seem to have knocked that out of the park, like right out of the gate. So
and
how do you keep that momentum going, though?
yeah, today is actually my one-year anniversary from losing 100 pounds, which
Yay!
is crazy. I've lost it, I've kept it off, and then some. So yeah, I think for me, the big thing was not always focusing on the scale. I really wanted to focus on getting stronger for 2021. So I started using the jack straps. For me, that was a big game changer. I've never had that upper body strength. So getting stronger and trying to tone up my body a little bit more was really kind of my focus physically. And you know, for me, and I learned, a little bit of this from Caitlin too, was having a plan, being organized, so you have a direction that you're heading for the challenge. I decided, okay, I'm going to film my workouts every Friday. It's going to be the same workout every Friday so I can really see my progress. A couple times a month, I'm going to do a vlog and, talk to the camera, what's going on. If something else pops up, I'm going to do that. Getting out there in the community and helping others where I could, that was something that was really important to me. And then finally, like the big thing I did was I created this whole next level grit, um, you know, persona or, just social media on Twitter and Instagram and got really involved in that and just showing day to day, like, what's the grind like? How does this like actually work in real life? I've got a family, I've got to make sure everybody's taken care of. I want to bring them along for the ride too. So that was something that was really interesting and new for me to kind of like show my growth and what I was doing. So yes, the 6 months was definitely something I had to be laser focused on. And but the thing is, like, people don't understand it doesn't end there. Like it doesn't end at your 6 months. Like really, it's just the beginning. You've got to keep moving forward, and you have to keep that momentum going.
It's
So
it's almost likening to like the old corporate ladder, like the old school days. Like you start in the mailroom and then you work your way up, and you're just constantly. I mean, because with a lot of these transformations and a lot of this living at 90% is, I mean, there's always the next step. I mean, because if you get to the top of your game, you've got to step up and or like taking it like baseball leagues. You can play in the minors, but you've got to keep working your way up, or you're just going to stagnate. I think that's where a lot of people probably fail is they just stay there right there where they're comfortable and try to hover, and then that discipline starts to fail. So instead of grabbing for that next level, it's like I'm just done.
So something that you talked about a little bit, but something I really want to highlight is how you ate, how you still eat. You know, you talked about you went gluten free, dairy free, which I'm on that as well. But you shared so many things, you know, throughout your journey. I think you did, if I can remember correctly, in 2020, you had done that littler challenge about eating and posting the photos, which I remember being, you know, being part of that. And then I know you've seen your Aldi's hauls, and you know, what are those things that you know I get questions all the time about food, and I'm sure you do too. Like, what are those things that you found that you either substitute or things that you've changed over time? What are things that you recommend people trying out? You know, kind of how's your eating been, and what do you recommend for others?
Yeah, I mean, healthy eating can really be a daunting task for some people. It's overwhelming. You go into your pantry and you just see all the stuff that you're not supposed to be eating, and it's just like, where do I start? So for me, I started out slowly. The first thing I did is I started buying food that was organic. So I was kind of eating the same things, but they were the organic version. And then a couple weeks later, I added in the gluten free part. And then a couple weeks after that, added in the cow dairy free. And Erin, I just saw your Y video that you posted, and you were talking about how you have PCOS and how the cow dairy made such a difference. Like
Yep.
I have PCOS too, so
Oh,
diet it's such a big part of it, you know. You get told your whole life you have PCOS, like you can't lose. This is why you are the way you are.
yeah. It's
Like
like climbing a sandhill, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very challenging and discouraging, but you know, once you take hold of your own health, it makes a world of difference. So for me, I wanted to look at it like a new adventure. So I got to go down all of the new aisles that I've never been to in the grocery store. I got to try all these new different products. Some were good, some were not good, but you know, it was just something different to try. And
I would like to add something right here. Like, if you haven't, you need to follow Stephanie on Instagram or Facebook because seriously, with this food stuff, like going through her journey, I've watched you like you're still excited about healthy eating. You share that, and you'll be like, "Hey, but this coffee creamer was good, but this one is garbage." And you know that people need that in the community because like when I get asked for it, it's I'm not the person to ask for dietary advice because I'm like, "Are you eating meat?" They're like, "Well," I'm like, Don't talk to me." You know what I mean? It's just like, so I love it that because I have lost all my passion for cooking. If I can't put it on the grill for like 20 minutes and take it off, I don't want to cook anymore. But watching Stephanie's post and like actually getting that, you know, and your son helping too, that's awesome because his face, you can tell if it's good or not. Because if it's not good, boy, Chef Connor's like, no, we ain't doing this.
yeah,
So no, I love. So you need to follow her on there because she makes it fun and she shares those recipes. And I mean, it's amazing how she's taking healthy eating and making it to where you're like, okay, I might try that. I mean, and for me to say that, that's a big deal because like most stuff nowadays, I'm like, I won't eat
all right,
that.
guys, you heard it here first.
Yep.
But I
and
mean,
and and a lot of people fall in the trap as far as when they start thinking organic that it's going to really hurt the wallet. But when you start thinking about factoring out the eating out and going to the fast food restaurants, and once you actually do the comparison, you actually save money, or it's no difference at all. So,
And I'm a really frugal person. Like I don't like to spend a lot of money on like basically anything. So I do try to find the deals. Like I shop at Aldi a lot. Like Caitlin said, I shop at Costco to try to get really good deals on bulk products. So yeah, I think it's so important because this is something that we have to do for the rest of our lives. I mean, I everyone here that's on the screen, you know, like this isn't just like I got to my goal and now I can stop. Like no, this is
right.
like forever. Every day you have to get up and choose to put good things in your body. So yeah, for me, I have a passion for, you know, cooking and getting kids in the kitchen. I wish I had that when I was little. Um, for me, I want my son to just grow up having it be normal, and that is what's like so important to me. So yeah, I'm happy to like help with any questions that you guys have. More food stuff coming from me, possibly something that has been filmed in like
Undisclosed
really down
location.
south, yeah. So,
Love
hope
it.
keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so I think the best thing to do is to choose what works for you long term, whatever that might be. And I also think it's okay for people to switch to different options if something's not working. I feel like sometimes some people think if it's not working for them, they just give up. Like, just try something a little different, don't be afraid, to switch things up.
I think that's really true because all 5 of us eat differently, right? Like, we might have those overlapping, we don't eat this or that, but we're all gonna have different preferences. Some things, I've had absolutely those times where you posted something or Samantha Sheets or somebody's posted something and I'm like and I make it and I'm like, "Well, I'm sure that's nice for them." But then there's other times it's phenomenal and it's in my recipe book, and
Yeah,
I'm holding on to that. But I think that's the part of like I don't want people to get discouraged. It's a lot of trial and error to find what works for you specifically when it comes to eating. Because yeah, we can all do the same workout, right? We can all do this DDP workout and that can have an impact. But we're not all going to enjoy the Brussels sprout. We're not all going to want that avocado. It all depends. Like what is that thing that you're going to want that makes it work? I would never survive on the Dobbins diet. It would just the lactose intolerance in me would keel over. But, that obviously works for him and it's amazing. And so I think I really encourage you, yeah, to try them really. Yeah, follow Stephanie because I mean, she's the food guru over here. The amount of food every time she posts, I'm like, that's so pretty. It's so fancy, but it's
well,
not.
yeah, and try to make it look good too. And like, yeah, don't be afraid to fail. Like, if something's not good, so what? It's just a meal. Like, make something different the next time and move on.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Something else that you had mentioned that you'd started as an intention, which is really cool, is trying to support other people in the community. So, kind of where do you get your support through your journey? Where do those people that you root yourself with, and kind of how do you continue to do that through your own mission of wanting to support people?
So I would say within the community, the first like really solid group I got in was with the Warrior Women. It was really powerful when you like get a group of like-minded people together, and especially as we were going through that pandemic, like we needed each other to lean on and support one another. And then when I entered into the Positively Unstoppable challenge, I told my husband like I'm not coming to play. I'm coming to win. Like, but I need your help. I need your support. I'm going to be annoying about this, asking you to take my picture, asking you to take my video. So, like, I set the expectation for him up front. Like, I'm serious about this. I really want to do this. Here's how you can support me. And he has had my back 110%, like, this whole time. He has gone, like, above and beyond for me to know that what I'm doing is valuable, not just for myself, but for our family and for other people. So I'm incredibly lucky that I have his support. And my little guy is like my biggest cheerleader. I love when he gets on the mat with me and tries different moves. Yesterday I did the live workout and we were doing can opener. He's like, oh yeah, I can do that's easy. I'm like, okay, come down here. And like he like got into it. I'm like, no, your leg needs to be like this. And he's like, oh, that kind of hurts. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, just having them there, like to be part of it day in and day out has been, just incredible. And just everybody is so supportive in that DDP yoga group. It's unreal. And shout out to the Sham Fam. They are amazing, and Project Mayhem. Like those have been like my two groups that I've really gotten to like be a part of. And then also my Jack Transformation Challenge group. They are incredible. So yeah, it's just getting support from a lot of different areas. But the only reason I got that support in the first place is because I put myself out there. The biggest things that have ever come out of my journey have come from me putting myself out there and being vulnerable. So I know it's scary. I know it's like, am I doing this right? But like, just give it a shot. Put yourself out there and be open to, whatever comes with it.
That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yep.
I think that's some of the big things is that like making sure that you are like willing to put yourself out there, because I think that's the thing is like you got to give a little to get a little. I see so many people saying help me, but I think you need to, beyond saying help me, like sharing those vulnerabilities, right? Maybe we have some people that are really brave. You see at the start of the year, people are posting pictures and they've never posted those pictures before, and being willing to share those hardships. It's not all the victory posts, right? We see, you and many others who share those vulnerabilities of, this is what my body looks like, or this is where I'm struggling with the workout. And so I think it's really amazing to see you continue that, and then supporting people's victories. And I think that's one of the biggest things as well as, through your journey is how supportive you've been to those people. And so, I think that really is a standout moment. Which, I think was a huge, I at least believe that was part of your win there. Um, but, talk to us about the win. What happened? What's the deets? What went down?
So crazy. So it's one of those things where, I first I think like I got a message to set up an interview, and then you like kind of get in your mind, you're like, well, what does this mean? Was it okay? Did I do enough? What are the questions gonna be? What's happening? So I was really surprised that I got an interview, because like I said, I lost 25 pounds for this challenge. And but I was all in. Like, that's the thing, is that was the difference, I think, for me, is I was all in on this.
But
And
your story too, like Caitlin said, showed people that you don't have to lose 100 pounds to win. I mean,
right.
that's like yours and Jeremy's story this year was you guys finished up. Like you finished the transformation, like you turned that corner. It's like we're done now. Like we have it's just like when Caitlin and I were down there, it's like okay, the weight loss goals are hit. I mean, it's done. So no, I that's it, but I love it that was a win, and you
Yeah.
continue to work it, even though you didn't have 100 pounds or 120 pounds. It was I'm
Yeah,
going
and
to finish it up.
I'm so glad that you know, they opted to show a different side of a transformation, show that piece, because sometimes like that end is kind of the hardest. And how do you take it to the next level when that's where you're at? So yeah, I wasn't sure what it all meant when I got the email, but then I got a follow up, and Dallas came on the screen, and he was incredibly nice and gracious, and um I like was like, where is this going? And then he told me that I came in as a champion, and I started crying. I couldn't believe it. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. Like, I'm the type of girl, I like to be prepared. Like, I would have loved to have been prepared, like with something to like say that made coherent sense, but I wasn't prepared for that moment, but it was incredibly overwhelming. I have like a little video of like after I found out, and my husband like was standing at the door like watching me, and I didn't realize it, and I just like look over, and he's there, like he got to share that moment with me. Like for me, that was like the moment, was being able to share it with him after all the hard work we both put into it. Like I just looked over at him, and it was like we did it. So yeah, it was crazy, and I was incredibly excited to like meet everybody. I cried for like maybe a whole day, like every hour or so, just like meeting new people, and then going into the PC the first time, like seeing all the people that work there. You're like, I kind of know you, but like, hi, but not in a creepy way. I promise I'm not creepy, but I know who you are.
The
Um,
the door, like the big wood door, right before you walk in the studio, you see the blue lights through the glass, and then that door opens, and you walk in. It's like, oh, here we are.
Yeah, it's like
Yep,
being at like the Mecca, and you're like, oh my gosh,
yep.
I'm finally here, and it's just so surreal. Especially, I know with your group, the PC was also closed down, so it's like no one gets to be here. Like literally, no one else gets to be here. Like it's just us, like having this moment, and I did my best to like soak it all in and just like live in the moment and appreciate like what I was there for, and to really honor the fact that I've been given this responsibility almost to represent the Positively Unstoppable Challenge champions, to represent DDP yoga, and just to like represent myself, you know. And what I really want to do is just help people like live their best life, like help them, you know, to believe in themselves. So experience was incredible. I think this year I felt like they really focused on giving us opportunities to make lasting friendships with one another and opportunities to just like be connected as a group. So like that I really appreciated that piece of it. It was just this isn't a like it's not like here's a contest and here's your money. Let me take your pictures. Like goodbye. We, you know, spent like 18 hours a day together. We were doing things until, you know, like 1, 2 in the morning. They made sure like each individual person got something special for themselves, like different experiences to do out there. So it was very cool. Big shout out to Steve U for taking care of us and doing literally everything. And it was so cool to meet Nadia and Pat out there who run the whole challenge. Again, it was like, hi, I know you. I'm Stephanie. Nice to meet you. I'm not creepy. You're gonna have to do like a whole segment of me saying I'm not creepy, and
That'll be our lead-in soundbite.
that can be your teaser. Watch this. She's not
Yeah,
creepy.
I'm not creepy.
Not even a little. Nope, nope.
That's so amazing. Oh, so what would you say was like your highlight reel of like your top things? So like yeah, obviously getting to meet everybody, but I know you did so much in such a small amount of time. I'm sure it felt like a whirlwind. But what were like some of your biggest takeaways from the experience?
So one of my favorite things that we did is one of the people that worked there, he like kind of gathered us all up and was like, you know, congratulations, like we're so proud of you. But here's what you can expect going forward. Like you've been given this platform and you know, people are gonna look to you guys for, you know, advice and look up to you kind of like role models. And so it like gave our group an opportunity to kind of just like sit there and talk and be real and be vulnerable and kind of get a glimpse at maybe what's coming ahead. That was really great. Um, Another thing was being able to cook in the kitchen. And then, oh, we filmed a workout for the app, which was unbelievable. I had no idea like what Dallas's process is, and I honestly still don't. It was basically like, okay, and we're live. So he just like has it all in his head and he just goes. But that day that he called me, July 25th, 2020, he asked me, you know, what's my dream? And I was like, my dream? Like, I haven't dreamed in years. And after that phone call, I like kind of thought, like, what what is my dream? And so one of like my goals I wrote down was that I wanted to be in a workout on the app. I had no road to get to that goal. I had, you know, no direction on how to get there, but I was determined to get there. And so the fact that I was able to actually cross that off my list was it was a moment for sure.
Yeah,
I bet it was. I bet.
But I mean, like that, like I feel like that just speaks to the program. Like you might not know when, you might not know how, but if you work hard and like you're determined, like you will get there. So that was a great moment. Just
and that's the and that's the
unbelievable.
advice. And that's the advice we give new people, or at least I give new people coming in is, when do you get a call? How do you get a call? It's like you don't expect a call. You just do the work. You keep your head down. You do the work. You put yourself out there. You do the work, and eventually, because they're watching. I mean, you never know when that call will happen. People, I mean, the program is watching, and you might be getting to that day where you're getting ready to quit. And you think, man, one more day, and it could be that day that you're thinking about quitting that phone rings and it's that blocked number, or something like that, and you're like, oh, I should probably answer that. You do, and I mean, you're finally recognized. But yeah, it's do the work. Don't expect a call.
Yeah. Last year for me was just about getting that win, like teaching myself that is obtainable to win and to set a goal and obtain it because I never really had that, especially weight loss, as setting a goal and smashing it. And then it kind of snowballed. And then I ended up having to do my SmackDown sheet like 3 to 4 times. And I remember reaching out to Pat, and I'm like, "What do I do? I've never been in this situation before. What do I do now?" He's like, "Do another one." And then, like 2 months later, I smashed it. I'm like, "Okay, what now?" So getting that win last year was huge for me. This year, I'm just ready to go. I've been like Stephanie had mentioned, just being able to help others and being on the other side of not being the newbie, but being able to give guidance and to give a little bit of instruction on like, hey, this worked for me. This, but I have a 7-year-old son, so I resonate with Stephanie, and it's important because I cook all the meals and to break that cycle. Because when I grew up, I was taught at a young age to cook, but it was hamburger helper, spaghetti, because we were poor and we made stuff stretch, but it was not the stuff that was good for us to eat. So breaking that cycle with my son and showing it can taste good, but you know breaking that cycle for me with him is my focus this year and finishing up my last little bit. I know Aaron. I think you have what 25 pounds left.
Yeah, about that ish. But I'm gonna go beast mode instead, so we'll see how that goes.
She's gonna be
I'll
buff
probably
like Stephanie is.
yeah, I'm gonna end up bigger
Yeah.
than yeah.
So, y'all, if you haven't seen Stephanie with the gun show she rocking over there, I'm telling you, every once in a while she'll post a picture, and I'm like, damn, like
Yeah.
every
I'm
time.
going for more too. So
Oh,
Girl, you're
yeah.
fierce, yeah. Yeah.
inspiration! I'm telling you, every
So,
time I'm like, I gotta go more.
so let me ask you this, Stephanie. Now that you've hit your weight loss goal and you're working out harder, your nutrition's on point, you're using the jack straps, have you seen that scale go up a little bit with more muscle tone, or are you still on that?
I'm still maintaining, but I am adding in the leg straps. I'm actually starting a 90-day Jack challenge, a new one on Sunday, and I will be adding in the leg straps. And I think doing a little bit more, doing some not only the Jack workouts, but some BFR stuff on the side. So
Gotcha.
more to come on that, but I do have a new weight loss goal, which is to get to 175. So my total loss will be 125. And it's kind of a weird reason why. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
totally.
Absolutely.
So, okay, this is so weird. So weird. So, um, 25 is my lucky number. Like, my husband and I started dating November 25th. He proposed on Christmas after we had been dating for 25 months. I was 25 when we got married. We got married September 25th. I got induced May 25th with my son, but he got his own day, the 26th. July 25th, 2020, DDP called me. I mean, it's just like my lucky number, and I'm like, I think I want to go for 125. Like, I think I'm like, it's vibing with me. So that for 2022, that is like my new goal, and I know it's like only 5 pounds, but 5 pounds for me is a lot while simultaneously building muscle. So we shall see if that is compatible or not,
I was
because
gonna say, be kind with yourself.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not like, I need to lose this 5 pounds right away or whatever. But making sure it's going to be compatible with what I'm trying to achieve, on the muscle building side. So we'll see where I head with that. But I think it's always really good to like set a new goal ahead of yourself so you can keep moving forward. So I'm excited for 2022. I think like the Positively Unstoppable challenge is going to be bigger and better than ever.
Yeah.
I bad for the judges. I mean, we've got
Yeah.
pros right here, so it's like, look out, world.
Yeah.
It's
I
on.
wouldn't even submit this year because or last year because like I said, the year that I did it, like I'm sure Caitlin's and Candy's and Scotty's, folders were all nice and neat. Mine's the one with like four papers sticking out, and I'm like, here you go. You know,
Bubble a little bit, like has some like beet juice on it or something.
yeah, I'm like I'm the
Get
400
on your
pound lineman. I'm the 400-pound lineman that they need for the championship game. Here, coach. Here's my papers. 100%. That will not fly anymore, folks. That documentation better be on point because people are playing to win.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you
Yeah.
willing to do?
But you
I
got to
think
put the work in all aspects, you know?
All
Yeah.
aspects.
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
hearing how many people submitted this year, I know it was like over 1,600 or something crazy. Like
Yeah.
understanding too, like if you don't place as a finalist, you are still winning because you still made the progress. I know so many
Yeah.
people have expressed frustrations over time with not being one of the champions, and I was one of those people originally. I did the 2019, um and I didn't win. I was, I did a lot of weight loss, I did all this, but my journey wasn't over, and I wasn't where I could have been, and I pushed harder, right? I did it again, you know and Stephanie goes to show, like, it's not always about the weight loss number either. Like, sure, you made a good chunk of your journey before, but what else can you do? She's setting these goals, those 5 pounds. And it's funny because her and I are on almost the same exact, like, we started at the same weight. Also, 25 is my number. I was born September 25th. We're on a lot of vibes, Stephanie and I. It's a lot of patterns. But I'm in the same place as her, is like, that for some reason 175 is also stuck in my head. To get, we're so used to losing, 20, 50 pounds, to get a 5 pounds, it's still a challenge for us. It's just a
Yes.
different type of challenge. It's a different mindset. And so I think it's my hope is, like, even if you have come far and you didn't get what you wanted, but, like, try again, find those things. I still put in a smackdown every year, not to submit, but to keep myself and keep my goals aligned. It's those reminders that you need. So I think you can always set that new bar for yourself, and continue to show that and document it, like she said. Like, really make sure you're taking the videos, taking the pictures. I know that Nadia and Pat, they say it time and time again. It's so, so important to have the documentation. Cannot recommend that enough. Please save everything you have. Put it on YouTube. Put it in a Google Drive. All those kind of things are going to make the difference. You want to make that edge, you need to have that stuff. Push past your comfort zone. I think that's the biggest part, is, like, so many people are so afraid to put themselves out there, but they're not kidding when they say they're checking that social media. I know, like, they saw that, Justin posting those big wins. They see Aaron, they see Matt, they see Scott, they see all of us because we're all posting our journeys. They're seeing those things every single day. And so how you stand out is holding yourself accountable online and showing people what you can do, like Stephanie and like all of the others that have done this.
And I remember I posted something like really early on in my journey, and I think DDP had commented on it, and Justin, he was like, "Looks like you got the big man's attention," and I was like, "Yeah," and you were like, "You never know who's watching." I'm like,
Mhm.
"That, like, I never even thought about that, but it's so true." And maybe a week or so ago, I put up a post about this picture that I had bought, and it said something like, "This is the moment that you were created for." And I know so many people get discouraged that their journey doesn't go the way that they want, but, like, maybe that's just not your path. Maybe that's just not your moment, but, like, your moment is coming, and the question is, will you be ready? Like, do what you got to do so that when that moment comes, you're ready. So that's what I would encourage people to, like, keep moving forward, like, always forward. So yeah, I mean, there's so much that you can do. Like, you're in charge of your journey. Just, head down and grind it out, and you'll get there.
That's awesome. Do y'all have any other questions before we wrap?
So,
Well,
Stephanie, if you had to choose one workout, what's your go-to?
Woo! One workout. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have to go with jacked shoulders and traps O2 because that is my weekly Friday workout. And it has so many strength movements that I have really, like, come from a love hate relationship in the beginning to now. I can do them, like, knee droppers, lifting your hand up in three-legged dog, 10-second push-ups, So that had pushed me outside of my comfort zone for so long. It really helped me to get to where I am now. And it's a great workout. You will be sweating, maybe swearing. It will challenge you, but it will change you. What's your favorite workout? I want to know.
Mine,
Yeah.
um, I like Synergy 40. I used to hate it, but it became like because breaking my tailbone and some of the setbacks that I've had through my first year, it was like the pinnacle of where I wanted to get, and being able to do that and like Strength Builder, those upper beginner, intermediate. So unfortunately, with my feet and the way that kind of happened, I never got to experience the advanced stuff. So like mid tier intermediates was about where I got. So I would say Synergy 40 for right now until I get to do the upper stuff again,
That's a
which,
killer workout.
yeah.
Like, if you guys haven't gone back and done that workout lately, it is killer.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
been a minute.
Yeah,
I've just gotten into the jack stuff myself over the last couple of weeks, and I got the straps and whatnot. And man, they're addicting. So addicting. Yeah.
they're another animal for sure.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
And I like Stand Up with Big G. Uh, he's
He's
just a
awesome.
character. And it's a really good one if you're wanting to work on balance and you have a recovery day. It's kind of a lighter, but it'll still work you out. But I really focused on doing like the Frankenstein and building that kind of stuff up in balance. And with my feet being so bad, that was I wanted to really work on my balance. So that, I would say that would probably be a second is the stand up workouts with DDP or Garrett. Um, so
Nice.
Stand up with Big G is a workout that Elise and I use to introduce people to kind of DDPY. Because there's those pauses in between like each segment, and it's a
yeah,
balance thing. So it's not like down on the mat. It's not one of those real hard, heavy workouts. It's just kind of fun. Plus, when you're falling around doing balance stuff, it's more fun. It's not like we're down here in a push up. Push ups suck. I mean, it's
How can
just
you
not a
not
lot.
fall in love with Garrett and like want some more? I mean, he's
See, that's
awesome.
the thing is I feel like I'm way more masochistic because mine are all like Hayden, yoga doc, like
Yeah.
you know, just the ones where you're like. But I think particularly with yoga doc, his stuff is like it's a little bit, it's like that slight twist on things where you get to try different things. But lately the ones with Dallas and Paige, they have the holiday ones and the honeymoons ones. They have a great flow. So for the, if I'm not trying to be masochistic, trying to get that more even keel one, those have been really great too because they have a good kind of momentum and vibe together, and they kind of go back and forth. And so I know that you've done a bunch of the page workouts as well. I'm a big fan of doing hers, and so not only warrior woman representation, but she just has so much experience. So it's been really cool to see her added to some of the newer workouts that we're starting to see as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they're gonna take that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and she's
The,
like
the,
Gumby.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
She is
Eh,
stretch goals. Every time they do the splits on the mat, I am absolutely mimicking whatever she is doing because I
Yeah.
can somewhat do some of it, and so I try to like her is she's my bar right now in trying to like bend myself.
Yes, stretching and strength goals. Holy smoke,
Hmm.
she is
Yeah.
she is insane.
Hmm. Yeah, I think one of the most recent ones, she just got up. They started to do push-ups or something, and she's just on her fingertips. And Dallas wasn't even ready for her. It was great. Yeah.
Insane.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
That's
I'm,
awesome.
I'm so happy for the two of them. I think like they make a really great team. I'm so excited like the energy and vibe she brings to DDPY. And I'm really looking forward just to seeing like how like she continues to grow, within the program. I remember like watching her workouts when they first came out. Like when the pandemic first started, they put a couple live ones out on Facebook. And just to watch her grow, like just in her personality and her comfort and not being able to like get out there and like show what she's got. I mean, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Other questions y'all have?
I
No?
think I'm good.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Stephanie, I just wanted to, before we wrap up, first of all, thank you for being part of this journey. Where
Thank
can people
you.
follow you on the medias?
So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Next Level Grit. I'm all about DDPY, family, fun, fitness, and food, lots of food. So I'm always happy to help. So feel free to give me a follow or shoot me a message or, like, comment, subscribe. I don't know. Is this YouTube?
Ring that bell.
Smash that button. But yeah, you can find me on social media. I love to share my journey so you can hear all about that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. And as always, you can follow us. I'm sure Matt will put our lovely links and all of that to follow where you can follow us on the next 90%. But thanks for joining us, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Take care. Bye, team.